Nigeria's political battle ahead of the 2027 general election has taken another dramatic turn. The presidency has launched a sharp attack on former Vice President Atiku Abubakar following his latest efforts to revive public debate over President Bola Tinubu's decades-old US civil forfeiture case. In one of its strongest responses yet, the presidency declared that if Atiku were Chinese, he'd be in jail. But what prompted this fiery statement? Why has the controversy over President Tinubu's US forfeiture records resurfaced? And what could this mean for the political landscape as the race toward 2027 gathers momentum? Stay with us as we break down the facts behind this developing story. The presidency says former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's attempt to revive President Bola Tinubu's US forfeiture case through foreign lobbyists is self-defeating. In a statement issued on Thursday, Bayo Onanuga, presidential spokesperson, said Atiku's dismal record as a public servant shows that he has no reason to ask Nigerians for their votes. Onanuga said the former vice president would be rotting away in jail for his crimes against Nigerian people if he were a Chinese. On Wednesday, Von Batten Montague, LC, a Washington-based lobbying firm, said it had begun providing U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ, records concerning drug trafficking allegations against Tinubu to members of President Donald Trump's administration, Congress, and senior congressional staff. The firm was hired by Atiku in March under a 12-month, $1.2 million lobbying contract to help strengthen his reputation in the U.S., facilitate engagements with U.S. officials and Congress, and counter what the contract describes as the Nigerian government's lobbying narratives. In his latest act, Atiku Abubakar's lobbying group in the U.S. has submitted petitions to President Trump and the U.S. State Department regarding a civil forfeiture case from 1993, a matter long settled, with no criminal conviction or finding of guilt. The presidential aide argued that the issue Atiku was attempting to revive was resolved over 30 years ago in the US and has been thoroughly litigated, explained, and rendered moot by the electoral mandates conferred on President Tinubu by the people of Lagos and Nigeria at large. Reviving this matter today is an affront to the intelligence of Nigerians and an attempt to rewrite history for personal gain, he said. It is important to remind Atiku and his associates that Nigeria is a sovereign nation, not a satellite of any foreign power. Reporting the president of Nigeria to another country's leader is not only inappropriate but also undermines the nation's dignity and independence. Such actions are incongruous with the responsibilities of a statesman and are ultimately self-defeating. Onanuga said if Atiku has chosen to disregard his own sense of self-respect and self-worth, he should, at the very least, show respect for the country he aspires to lead and the office he so ardently seeks. While acknowledging that lobbying is a legitimate part of American politics, Onanuga said employing paid foreign agents to peddle discredited documents against a sitting Nigerian president is not advocacy but an attempt to externalize domestic politics and undermine the country's sovereignty. Nigerians resolved this matter at the ballot in February 2023 and in the Supreme Court. That verdict stands, and Atiku's latest fishing expedition would amount to naught, he said. The presidential spokesperson contended that if Abubakar could spend $1.2 million on American lobbyists to report Tinubu, he should also clarify his own legal standing in the US. He featured most prominently in the William Jefferson bribery scandal, a matter which saw the American congressman jailed, Onanuga said. Atiku, along with his former wife Jennifer Douglas, was one of the subjects of an elaborate US Senate investigation, keeping foreign corruption out of the United States, 4 case histories. According to Onanuga, the report of the investigation, chaired by Carl Levin, a US senator, was released in February 2010 and documented how Atiku used offshore companies to bring suspect funds, including bribes from multinationals, running into millions of dollars, into the United States. Onanuga added that Atiku's desire to become president is driven not just by his marabout-fueled ambition, but by a desire for diplomatic immunity and to evade potential legal issues abroad. Recycling discredited allegations and documents from the 2023 campaign will not improve his chances in 2027, he said. Nigerians have not forgotten the legacy of the privatization program under Atiku's watch as vice president. He presided over an egregious privatization heist, selling national assets to cronies for peanuts and causing thousands of job losses and unpaid salaries and pensions that President Tinubu is clearing today. Onanuga added that rather than present policy alternatives to address the country's challenges, the former vice president had chosen the path of media theatrics and lobbying in Washington. The challenges Nigeria faces require serious engagement, thoughtful solutions, and leadership at home, not grandstanding abroad, he said. He added that President Tinubu is unfazed by Atiku's theatrics as he remains focused on his renewed hope agenda, stabilizing the economy, attracting investments, securing the nation, and restoring Nigeria's standing in the world. He is not distracted by political actors, perennial losers like Atiku, who now seek validation abroad, he said. So, where does this leave us? This war of words is more than just a media spat. For the presidency, it's a chance to project strength and deter foreign interference, while trying to frame Atiku as a desperate politician who failed to win at home. For Atiku, it's a strategy to keep the spotlight on the Tinubu administration's legal history, capitalizing on public appetite for accountability and transparency. But as one analysis put it, the average Nigerian struggling with inflation and insecurity might not care about lobbying contracts in Washington or congratulatory letters from foreign leaders. For them, the ultimate test is whether the government's renewed hope agenda translates to real relief. One thing is certain, with the 2027 election drawing closer, the political fireworks are only just beginning. We will continue to monitor this story and bring you updates as they unfold. If you found this report informative, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss trusted updates on Nigerian politics, governance, business, and breaking news.